want you to think about situations at work where you've been happy, where you've enjoyed, where you felt in flow, okay? So in the first column, situation, we're just going to write a little title for it. In the second one, description, again, we're going to write a little bit of the context and what was happening. And in the third one, I want you to write what you liked about it. What was it that made you tick, that you thought, this is amazing, all right? And then on the last column, on the fourth column, I want you to write, is this something that I want to continue doing? And if so, what's the next step, or how can I grow from this? So I'll give you an example, very, very silly example, but it could have been your first day as a PA, and you could have gotten into a meeting and taken some notes. That would be your description, first time taking notes. Your situation. Your description would be, maybe it was, let's say it was a board meeting. So it was like a bit of a big thing, right? It was a board meeting. The company director was there. I was working with my head of blah, blah, blah. And I was attending there as an assistant and to take notes. And so that would be your description. And then think about what you enjoyed about it. You know, maybe you enjoyed having a seat at the table, you know. Maybe you enjoyed just being there, being able to listen to what was going on in the company. Maybe you enjoyed, I don't know, maybe you enjoyed taking the notes, you know, feeling like really productive in that moment where you're feeling useful. I don't know, whatever it was, write it down. And in the last one, in this case, it would be something like, okay, what can I do for the next time? Maybe the next time I can organize the agenda, or I can get my hands on the agenda beforehand so I can prepare myself to know what they're talking about. So it makes my life easier when I'm trying to take notes. That would be a very simple next step. If I'm really avid at taking notes already, maybe that's not needed. But maybe as a personal assistant, I can help my boss and I can bring a summary, very short summary. I can send it via email. I can speak to them 5 minutes before the meeting, just so they've got a really clear idea of what was discussed in the last meeting, what were the roadblocks, and what were the next steps, for example. So this way I'm bringing value into my boss's work, and I'm bringing value in my own work because I'm being valuable. I'm making their life easier. I'm doing a great job. Okay? So this could be a very simple example. Now I want you to take some time again and just write down those situations. Okay? Again, write down what happened, what was the situation, what was good about it, and particularly what you enjoyed about it, and how you can bring it forward. How could you continue to build on that? All right? I'll see you in a minute. All right, fab, we're back. I hope you took some time. This is a great exercise, again, a self-awareness exercise where sometimes, you recognize the value and you recognize, most importantly, what you enjoy doing. And this is what it's all about, okay? It's very difficult to shine at everything. It's very difficult to be the best at everything. And the hard truth is, we usually already are good at something, like pretty good at something. And we don't realize it because we do it without realizing. We do it naturally, And this is why it's good as well that you might want to share this exercise and ask questions around you, Ask your colleagues, ask your peers, ask your bosses, ask if you have anyone that you manage, like situations where they felt that you did a good job because you might have not caught it. Or you might even want to ask, what do you think I'm best at? Okay? So again, this helps us all bring back to us into that equation that we were talking earlier, like what do we value? How do we show up to life? And where do we bring value? And for that, it's very important that we understand, how do we bring this value? Maybe we're great with people, Maybe we're great with maths. Maybe we're great with organizing. Maybe we're great with, I don't know, like prioritizing. Like there could be something that you're really specifically good at and you could continue to work on. Now, on a different sheet of paper, I want you to write what you'd like to do, all right? And think about whether or not you have examples of people in your company that are already doing similar things to that. Pay attention that I'm not talking about roles, I'm not talking about functions, I'm talking about specific items, specific things. Back to the meeting. Usually there's someone that opens the meeting, organizes the agenda, sort of maybe introduces people around, and they might be there simply directing that meeting, moderating it, opening it up, presenting people. That might be all that they do. They might do other things as well. They might be the person that is actually the director and it's organized that session, and they are actually running the meeting in many other ways. They're presenting things, whatever. But there was that one thing that they did, which was introduce the participants, bring everyone on board, that maybe you could do as an assistant. That's a position, that's a situation where you could shine, if that's what you want. So that's the kind of things that I want you to be really, really brave right now. Maybe do the jumping around again, before you do the exercise. Get your emotion, get your excitement up, and just dream. What would you like to do tomorrow, next year, whenever, that you're not doing today? So we've started looking at what you've done in the past and has been good for you and you've enjoyed and you've shined on. And now we're looking at what would you like to do in the future and how that would feel. Like, how would that look like? Anything, all right? So just draw a couple of more columns as well. Description, situation, description, and then what would that be? What the situation would be? What would the person? What would the context be? And what would be happening around you? And how would you be shining in that particular place? Okay, that's the most important column. I have one column which is how do I shine in this situation? So how did that go? Getting into it, yeah, a little bit more clarity, a little bit more vision. What was happening before that I might want to take back? I might not be doing those things anymore. Like I might have enjoyed something that I was doing at the very early stages of my career, and now I don't get to do anymore. And maybe there's something that I can see in the future, but I don't quite see the path yet now. But I see it in the future, and that's what's important, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to merge those two lists. And I want you to find ways in which you can utilize what you already know, what you're already good at, what you've already done really, really well in the past, and bring that into how can we build a path to the future. Okay? So once again, if I really enjoyed taking notes, and what I really want to do is open the meeting as a little dream of mine, maybe I can try and attend more of those board meetings, right? Maybe this was the first one that I was invited to, and it was something that was very out of the ordinary. How can I show my value? How can I show that I did a good job? Can I talk to my boss? Can I talk to some colleagues? Can I do some training where it helps me be the best at taking those notes, so I get more and more invited into the follow-up meetings, and one day maybe I get to open the meeting because I know this subject. And that's another good way of finding ways to improve. Like maybe there's a particular project that you can follow. Maybe there's a particular part of your boss's job that you can be really good at supporting. Where do you add value? This is the key question. Where do you add value? And the thing is, a lot of times, and this is where it gets tricky, you might be adding value in a way, and you might not be enjoying it. I'll give you an example. You might be really, really good at organizing. You might be really, really good at organizing. And that means that you can organize your boss's calendar and put everything in place and have all the debriefs from every meeting, blah, 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 on his table, on her table. Maybe, like the summaries from the previous meetings, have all the prep ready. And this is something that you've just learned to do because you had to do it because maybe your boss was asking for it, but you might not be enjoying it. You're very organized, you keep everything in place, you never lose something, you have, all your contact details from all your clients, suppliers, whatever it may be, super in order, and your boss can always rely on you, so that's where you add value, but again, you might not be enjoying it. So there are parts of the job that we just have to do, and that's the reality of it. And there are parts of the job that we can create and we can make in our shape, right? So if, again, I'm very good at organizing because I've just had to become so, I need to continue doing that because that's my job and I want to do a really good job. But maybe I'm a very creative mind and I want to bring new ideas into the table. So think about how could you find a space where you can create? How could you find a space where you can have more relationships with people because you actually really enjoy being with people? And this is where those lists that you just worked through should help you, right? Because you might have had a situation in the past where you absolutely loved organizing the Christmas party, for example. Maybe there was a Christmas committee that you volunteered for. Maybe it was your job to do so. Maybe you were supporting another colleague in doing so. Whichever the situation, it really doesn't matter. If it was part of your job, if it wasn't part of your job, if you volunteered for it. The thing is, there was a task that had to be done that you participated in and you enjoyed particularly because of a particular reason. Okay? So back to the Christmas party. The Christmas party organization would be the situation. The reason I participated really doesn't matter, but the reason I enjoyed it, it does. Because I might have, I wanted to help my colleague, this was it. But then as it turns out, I love cutting out pieces of whatever, snowballs that we then hanged around the office. I enjoyed having this handwork, Maybe I enjoyed preparing activities for the team for the Christmas party. Maybe I enjoyed the decorations. Maybe I enjoyed calling all the suppliers and making sure that everything got there on time. These are amazing tips to help us see what we're good at, what we enjoy, maybe it was a relationship with people. And if you distill all of those tasks, at the end, you have things like organization, people skills, management, any, creative thinking. So how can I bring those into my current job to build into where I really want to go? Maybe I'm really interested in bringing more strategy into my role. Why not? How can you do that? Be really creative. Find those ways for you to get into that. So this is my chit chat about why it's so important for you to find all these ways to build your own pathway. And I know that for professional assistants, it might be even harder. There's not sometimes a clear development path, but that's not an obstacle because nowadays, none of us really have a clear pathway. None of us really have a defined way of how our career should go. So it's on you. What do you enjoy doing? Which challenges do you enjoy tackling? Focus on that and focus on how your current skills can apply to that and continue to build on that. All right? And make it known. Like I said before, it's very important that you make it known, that you tell everyone what you're doing, what you're enjoying doing, and, opportunities might present themselves in those lines of work. All right? So this is the practice till now. I did want to give you one final exercise, one tool that I use that I hope it will inspire you to chase your dreams. So once you've done the exercise and you haven't done so yet, then maybe pause the video and come back to this later. But once you've defined semi-clearly, like it doesn't have to be crystal clear, once you've defined where you want to go, how do you envision your future self, your future life, who you're surrounded with, you know, who is at work with you, what are you doing, what kind of tasks are you doing, maybe look at who's at home with you, like what's so important from that future life that you're really interested in chasing. Because it might be, look, like I'm really good at what I do and I can do this job from home, and that means I can be at home with my kids. Like any sort of definition of success that you set for yourself, it's absolutely 100% perfect, and you have to know that, okay? So define your success metrics first. Like what does success, what does this happy future self look like? And once you've got it, we'll go into the visualization. Okay, so if you've got your success definition, you've got this idea, this how would your future self look like, your future life look like, who would be around you. Now I need you to have get a little bit of space, maybe a couple of meters in front of you that you could walk with your eyes closed. And just make the room, make sure that you hear me clearly, that you maybe can see me a little bit. And let's begin. So close your eyes. Take 2 deep breaths. Allowing the air in and out. And just allowing yourself to settle into your body, to feel all of you. Let your shoulders draw down a little bit, relax. Wonderful. And now I want you to imagine that there's a movie screen a couple of meters in front of you. Maybe 4 steps away, 5 steps away from you. And I want you to imagine that in this movie screen, what's playing is your future self life. I want you to, from this distance, start to watch what is happening, who's there, everything that you've imagined it to be. Allow yourself to paint the perfect picture, to make the perfect movie. You're the director. You get to put in there whatever you want. Now, as the movie becomes clearer, you might want to modify it a little bit. You might want to change a few things now that you have it in front of you. Just allow it to be whatever you want it to be. And once you're happy with the movie, I want you to start walking towards it. I want you to start feeling the excitement, the happiness, the draw-in that this amazing future that is awaiting for you is coming. It's getting closer. As you take one small step after the other towards it, you can almost feel it pulling you in. It's your movie. You created it. And once you reach it, step into it. Be the protagonist. Be the main actor or actress of this fantastic movie that you've drawn, that you've drafted, that you've created for yourself. And now that you're here, allow yourself to live it. Allow yourself to enjoy all those little perks and moments that you've defined for yourself. Look at the people around you. Look at the spaces around you. Watch everything that's happening. How does it feel? How incredible it is. How all those things that you're learning, how all the things that you've done to get to this point, it's been so worth it. This is incredible. This is amazing. Everything that you've done is paid off in full. It's even more than you could have ever expected. It's a fantastic, fantastic scene. And you have created it. And I want you to see how from this point, you can see how different you've become, the things that you've learned, how they've changed you, how you've grown, how you've become this incredible person. And now, I want you to just take one final look around, to observe everything that is happening, how beautiful and how amazing it is. And slowly start walking backwards, retracing your steps, bit by bit, without stopping, picking up on the things that you've done along the way, the things that have helped you move forward, and coming back to the point where you started, in the present. We're in this room, listening to my voice coming through the screen. Take a moment to visualize your pathway, to visualize all the amazing things that are waiting for you in this future that you have now experienced and seen. How all those things that are coming for you are so incredible. And how many things you've got still to learn, to grow, to change, to become an even better person. And when you're ready and you have all the information, you can open your eyes and take a step to your left. I really, really hope this was a wonderful experience for you. I want you to know that we do co-create our futures and that you have the power to create the life that you want. You've seen it now, you've visualized it, you've experienced it. And I hope that you'll keep that memory with you. And you might even keep it in mind in the morning when you wake up, in the evenings before you go to bed. Maybe on Saturday mornings as you're planning the week. Keep that visual of the movie that you've created for yourself, for your future, as your guiding star. Because now that you know how much you have within you, how much value you can be to others, to your company, to your own life, and now that you have this North Star to follow, to create your dreams, to realize your dreams, there's really nothing much that can stop you. So I hope you'll follow your dreams as I followed mine. I'll see you soon. Take care. And if you would like to expand any of this work further, as you know, I do one-on-one sessions. I do them online. They work wonderfully. And I would love to hear from you and to continue to work together towards your amazing future.